I'm Nick Sheeler. I'm a herp keeper and a biologist with a passion for reptiles and amphibians. I want to bring you along on my adventures, looking at captive collections and breeding facilities, the most amazing reptile and exotic animal expos, field herping adventures, and informative presentations on the captive care and husbandry of reptiles and amphibians. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy watching Gecko Galaxy TV.
So I'm climbing up this cut that you see right here. Pretty steep. With this rock right here, and found a old reptile egg. Say based on the size, probably looking at a small snake most likely. Maybe like a rough green snake. Found an old little nest of them right there. Little daddy short legs there. But yeah, they've long since hatched, so no disturbance here. Keep looking. All right, so not a minute or two later, flip this giant rock, and lo and behold, here's a tiny northern slimy salamander, just a baby. Here he is. That is the northern slimy salamander, Plethodon glutinosus. He's just a little fella. Sorry for the shaking, I'm trying to hold this rock at the same time. I'll shut this off, get him out of there, and get the rock back before I release him. All right, so under this rock next door, there's a big one. You see I found some more eggs. Maybe some proof that it came from a snake of some kind. Hard to tell exactly what it is from the shed. The size is either going to make it a neonate of something that gets a little bit more size to it, like a rough green. The eggs are definitely on the small side for like a black racer, so I don't think that that's what they are. But yeah, there's a little shed there. Some evidence of snakes past. Could be the shed of a smaller species like a worm snake or a rough earth snake maybe. Moving on. Whew. All right, so sitting down. Tell you what, man. Here's the road down there. There's top of the hill up there. Big guy like me, that's a bit of a hike. But I wanted to do a little segment. I found this little gem right here. This is a female 5-line skink, or at least I believe it to be a female based on the size and pattern. These skinks have that pattern when they're born, and they also have bright blue tails, and generally the females will retain that pattern as they grow, and males will turn into something completely different. They usually have a really bronze color with a bright orange or red under their cheeks, some red on their head as well. So I believe this is a female, decently sized little girl. The fact that she doesn't have a blue tail, not 100% sure if that means that maybe she's a transitioning male, but the only way I really know to tell with these guys in particular is the color, the dimorphic color that they have. But yeah, just flipped a little rock right over there and found her. she's gorgeous and really calm. I mean, it's quite a warm day here in this part of West Virginia. She was hunkered down under that rock. And I gotta say, this is probably the only time I've ever found a 5-line skink where I could just hold it with my hand open and not worry about it taking off. She's very calm. Absolutely beautiful. I believe they're in the genus Pleistodon now. Pleistodon fasciata, maybe. I'll put it on the screen if I'm saying it wrong. I have a Herp book in my backpack, but I really don't want to get it out. Not for this guy. If I find anything more interesting, then we'll do that. But absolutely beautiful. West Virginia Herping, early April. We'll go ahead and release her now. Try not to fall down this hill. So here's her rock. We'll just let her go. Come on, baby. And there she goes. Good times. So I gotta tell you, I couldn't be happier with this rock pile right now. There's a rock pile right here in this little area. Really producing. I'm up to my 3rd species now. And we have our first snake. Not just evidence of a snake, right? So here it is. It is a little northern ringneck snake. Diodophis punctatus. Gorgeous little animals. And they're going to be feeding out here on a variety of things. Insects. Also little salamanders. I love to eat those guys. So that little salamander we found earlier would make a nice small meal for him if he was able to find him. Luckily, he lives under a different rock. But they are beautiful colored snakes. They have this sort of gunmetal slate gray to sometimes almost bluish tinge on their back. And they call them ringneck snakes for a pretty obvious reason. There's that little ring right there, right around his neck. And if you look at their belly, it's really extraordinary. Look at how orange that belly is. So, beautiful snake. We're gonna go ahead and release him. Let him go right back under his rock. So, oh, I know, buddy. There you go. Go under your rock. And there he goes. Good stuff. So we have a little out in the open find here. Might be pretty difficult to see. It's actually probably impossible to see. But there is a little juvenile eastern fence lizard right there. Just saw him running down this little branch that's laid down right here. Cool little lizards. Really common here. See them pretty much all the time during this time of year and later. We're not going to touch him, we're just going to let him on his way. You know, I know y'all can see that I look pretty rough. Beat up, out of shape. Why on God's name would I climb this hill? It doesn't even look like that much to most of you probably, but whew, it's a climb for me, let me tell you. Going slow, checking rocks. Really happy that I didn't get skunked. Found a few things, that's nice. But got a little ways to go before I get to the top. Start poking around up there. But I needed this. This was nice. Just be out here. Nobody out here with me. By myself. Just nice. Tell you what though, you do hate to see that over there. That other ridgeline is being cleared for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know. All right, so just a couple seconds after my little break there, I flipped a rock a little further up the hill, and I was really hoping I would find one of these today so I could show everybody. These are really beautiful, stunning, and just amazing little amphibians. So give me just a sec, I'll put it down and we'll see if maybe we can talk about it. So here we are. This is a marbled salamander from the family Ambystomatidae, or the mole salamanders. I call them that because they spend a vast majority of their life under, you know, rocks, large woody debris, or even underground in some cases. I just found this beautiful little one under a rock over there. Scientific name is Ambystoma opacum, and it's called the marbled salamander. These guys have amazing life histories. I actually did the vast amount of my master's research on them, primarily their larvae, but there is a stable population here, or what seems to be a stable population. Look at that, what it's doing right there. I'll look up the term because I can't remember, but she sees me as a threat, potential predator, and she's waving her tail to create a distraction away from the part of her body that is most vulnerable, which is her head. So yeah, look at that. Absolutely amazing. And these guys spend, like I said, most of their lives in habitat that is under large woody debris, rocks, or underground. And yearly the adults do mass breeding migrations. So they move in large numbers between the months of September and December down to lowland parts of their territory, sometimes up to 1,000 meters. That's a long way for a creature this size. I just don't want you to go off the rock while I talk about you, sweetheart. But yeah, they move down to the breeding habitat. Vernal pools, so seasonally filled depressions of water in lowland forests. They fill when the rains come, and these guys will go down there. Males usually move, well, not always first. Sometimes females move first and they wait for the males. And females will wait under large woody debris or rocks that are in the depression, and they'll wait for the male to come down, and he'll deposit spermatophores, which she'll then pick up with her cloaca, and she'll fertilize her eggs internally, and then she'll lay them. And sometimes they lay in groups. You'll find multiple females holed up with their eggs. And then when the depression fills, when the rains come, the eggs hatch, and the moms and dads are gone by that point. And then the larvae, which look like little tadpoles with front legs at first and exposed gills, grow up in the pond, usually between the months of January and May at the latest. And then when the depressions begin to dry up, they metamorphose into tiny versions of the adults. And there's some research that suggests they'll spend some time in the lowland habitat, in microhabitats that are suitable, before they remigrate up to upland territories where the adults live. Just a fascinating species. Absolutely beautiful. Very happy I found one to show you today. We're gonna go ahead and stop bothering her and let her go back under her rock. Whew. So what a rock that was. We got these two beautiful herps under the same rock. You recognize this guy from earlier? That is a baby northern ringneck snake. He is tiny, tiny. He could probably, fully coiled, fit on the head of a quarter, or on the face of a quarter rather. And he's looking for a place to go. And then this is an adult northern slimy salamander, Plethodon glutinosus. You might be wondering what's going on with his tail. Well, he's lost that tail at some point, and he's regenerating it. So, beautiful. Two under the same rock. Alright, so I'm down off the hill now. I'm down near this is a permanent pond that's usually out here Not usually, it's permanent. It's here all the time. There are some vernal pools like I talked about earlier out here as well, so we'll do a night trip. But I wanted to show you, if the camera will pick it up, that this pond is frequented by eastern red-spotted newts. So we'll just walk down the edge here, and we should see at least one. I'm passing them by, but as I go by, they dive. Just heard a frog jump in. Probably a leopard frog or a pickerel frog. Very common out here. Oh, yeah, did you hear that? That was a frog. They do that little chirp when they get spooked and they jump in the water. Oh man, it'd be almost impossible to see them. But there is a newt swimming out there in the water. Oh, yep, you can see it on the camera. There it is. Wouldn't be able to tell if it's a male or female without getting up close to it. But they're an interesting species that hopefully I'll be able to show you on a night trip out here at some point in some of the vernal pools. They have a very interesting life cycle. All right, everybody, so I'm back at my car now and fixing to call it, at least for today. Pretty short little trip out there. Found some stuff, didn't get skunked. I'm really happy about that. Found quite a few good little things. So I just want to say I really appreciate you coming along with me. If you enjoyed the video, please do like it and consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to try to have as much content like this out there as possible, and post videos weekly as long as we're able to. So until next time, see ya.